News at 11.
Good evening. It's a rich revelation. Senior managers of BC Ferries are hauling in hefty salaries, more than their counterparts at government-owned corporations can only dream about. New information shows 21 top executives of BC Ferry Services earned $200,000 each last year. But while critics say it's too much, President and CEO David Hahn insists his team is worth every penny. Shachi Curl has the details.
For dozens of executive and senior staff at BC Ferries, the financial ride is very, very smooth. We've known for some months that the president of BC Ferry Services is the company's million-dollar man, earning $984,000 a year. Now we know how much some of his senior team's been earning too. Mike Corrigan, Chief Operating Officer, more than $500,000 a year. Trafford Taylor, who retired last year as Vice President of New Construction, just under $500,000. And the company's public faces, Mark Stephenson and Deborah Marshall, earning $200,000 and $100,000 a year respectively. Big pay packets drawing big reactions today.
I definitely think it's a lot of money.
I think it's pretty high.
It is a lot of money. I think most British Columbians would find that really out of line.
You had to have the right people come in and fix the ferry system, period.
The salaries released in response to a Freedom of Information request also include those of ship's captains and first mates, men and women who are paid well, but who are also responsible for the safety of their passengers and their vessels.
You're going to get what you pay for, and at the end of the day, you just have to decide if it was working so well before, then why am I here? Why am I here? I was here because it was broken.
This spring, the BC government introduced legislation to bring paychecks in line with what senior bureaucrats earn, not CEOs of Fortune 500 companies.
I looked at that as a form of political interference. And if they wanted private sector management with public sector wages, they should have said that up front. I personally wouldn't have come under those terms and conditions. I don't think half the management team I brought into place, and then you'd have to say, what would the results have been?
David Hahn says he will leave his post in 2013. He won't say if his replacement, brought in at a much lower salary, will be able to maintain the standards he says he is so proud of. In Victoria, Shachi Curl, A News.
Meantime, BC Ferries blames incompatible engine parts for the hard landing of the Queen of Nanaimo on Main Island this past summer. Several passengers were injured when the vessel lost power and slammed into the docking berth. BC Ferries says critical components around the propeller were somehow disconnected. A News reporter Mary Beth Burton has the story.
The Queen of Nanaimo slammed into the Village Bay terminal on Main Island in August. Passengers were given 30 seconds notice.
They were saying, oh my God, it's going to really hit hard.
The impact damaged both the vessel and the docking berth. Several passengers were hurt. One suffered a head injury, another broken ribs, and a third a broken ankle. A BC Ferries investigation finds part of the problem appears to have been incompatible engine parts.
We did use a third party, I believe, on that ship to provide some of the parts, and it should have been matched up a little bit better.
The report also finds securing pins in the engine room popped out. Monitoring instruments on the ferry would have indicated zero pitch, but neither the bridge nor the engineering team noticed. The captain opted to throw an anchor. It caught 300 feet of crab trap rope, but did nothing to prevent the hard landing.
He clearly was making an effort to slow the ship down, which was actually probably causing it to go faster into the dock.
Once the Queen of Nanaimo docked, getting an accurate count of passengers proved to be a challenge. 191 people paid for the trip, 199 were on board.
We've tightened a lot of that up, but I think there's always going to be a pretty high chance for people to try to sneak on.
The internal investigation into the Main Island crash was intended to be a learning tool for ferries and is available on the company website. In Victoria, Mary Beth Burton, A News.
There's more reaction tonight to the plan of the future for transit in downtown Victoria. As we first showed you last night, Victoria City Hall has endorsed a rapid transit corridor along Douglas Street, south of Hillside. It will eliminate 2 lanes of traffic and all on-street parking. Getting this far in the planning stage hasn't been easy, and there will be many more bumps in the road before light rail cars are running along Douglas. A News reporter Erin Glazier has the story.
If city planners have their way, one of these 2 options could be the future look of transit in the capital region. The plan calls for the elimination of 2 vehicle lanes and all on-street parking on Douglas to make room for a rapid light rail or bus line.
we recognize that we're going to have to do something fundamentally different. And if we're going to have change, we can't keep it the same.
Along with bike lanes and beautification, the project is expected to transform the downtown corridor into an equal opportunity transit area. But at least one business owner disagrees. This is how Scott Harrison makes his living, one customer, one vehicle at a time. But that may be in jeopardy if the proposed plan for side-by-side lanes on the east side of Douglas is chosen.
We're going to be losing some of the sidewalk, and I guess they're gaining 2 lanes of business, and I'm gaining basically or I'm losing any frontal exposure to my business. There'd be no access whatsoever. Being an automotive business, that would basically shut me down.
Well, there's him, but hearing so much from other business people, property owners saying, this is going to drive development, this is going to drive density.
It looks at linking not just the West Shore, but the whole network is based on this spine between uptown and downtown. So the whole rest of the transit network can improve as a result of doing this project.
2 options that are on the table will need major funding from the provincial government.
It's time for the provincial government to invest in its capital city.
In Victoria, Aaron Glazier, 80 News.
Victoria Police say 2 people are in custody following an investigation that started with a call from an alert citizen. The Greater Victoria Emergency Response Team assisted Victoria Police this morning in arresting a man and a woman on Dunsmuir Road in Esquimalt. Police say the incident first began when a homeowner was awoken by a woman knocking on her door early Thursday morning, asking if she could call a cab. The homeowner did, but also called police as she thought the woman at her door had been assaulted. Vic PD tracked the 23-year-old victim down on the West Shore last night and was able to identify the people responsible, they believe, for her injuries.
She didn't come forward directly to us, but we were alerted to that. Once we were able to track her down, though, we have been getting cooperation for the investigations. That's been really good, and that's certainly been helping the investigators go through that. But there are charges pending against 2 people for sexual assault, forcible confinement, assault with a weapon. So there's some serious charges that are coming out of it.
Police say the 2 suspects, a 46-year-old man and a 28-year-old woman, are both known to them. They'll be appearing for a telebail. They appeared, for a telebail earlier today. Vic PD officers also executed a search warrant at an apartment on Dunsmuir and seized potential evidence, including a pellet gun and a stun gun allegedly used in the assault on the 23-year-old victim. The BC Liberal Party is claiming tonight it now has proof that the NDP is involved in the recall campaign against Liberal Cabinet Minister Ida Chong. The Liberals say a Facebook campaign launched by the NDP Oak Bay Gordon Head Constituency Association is encouraging New Democrats to get involved in the recall campaign. The site provides an online link to sign up as a petitioner. Oak Bay Gordon Head MLA Ida Chong says the Facebook site also says that if the recall is successful, the NDP will be ready to run a winning by-election campaign.
And it isn't about one issue such as HST. It is actually about the NDP very interested in seeing a recall effort so that a by-election can be held so that they can regain the seat.
If you follow Ida Chong's logic to its illogical conclusion, anyone who voted against her in the last election would not be allowed to participate in this recall campaign, and that's just plain ridiculous.
A News was the first to report any possible NDP involvement in the recall campaign after we aired a leaked internal NDP document calling on its members to get involved. Party President Mo Zahoda says those documents are reasonably accurate, but the NDP maintains it has nothing to do with the recall efforts with the group Fight HST. They're targeting Liberal MLAs over the harmonized sales tax. Canvassers in Oak Bay have 60 days to sign up more than 15,000 voters in the riding in order to force the by-election. And you can see more of my interviews with both sides of the campaign Saturday and Sunday on A News at 6 with Andrew Johnson. Earlier tonight on A News, we put out a call for you to help restock the shelves at local food banks on Vancouver Island. And you heard the call loud and clear. The annual Cool FM Food for Families fill-up is a huge success. We'll show you just how much food and cash you help raise for needy families after the break. And we'll have your weekend weather forecast, including your 7-day extended outlook. But first, take a look at the current conditions outside.
indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yes, are we covered? Rex-safe chips, ice cream, tapioca, and, of course, dog treats.
Oh, sorry, miss, we don't cover dogs.
No, Charlie is my dog.
Rex is my husband.
Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, you're covered.
Think a thick cream is the only way to firmer-looking skin? Challenge the need for such heavy measures with Olay. New Regenerous Microsculpting Serum for firmer-looking skin in 5 days. Pretty heavy lifting for such a lightweight. Olay Regenerous.
This year for the holidays, I'm giving my mom better legs, my brother a tighter core, my sister a cuter butt, and my man a sexier me. I'm giving everybody Skechers shape-ups. Why? Because they really work. Running short on time? No worries. With quick, easy Aussie products like 3-minute Miracle Conditioner, there's always enough time for naturally beautiful hair. Add some root to your do.
Maybe I still have a lot to learn.
You think you should graduate?
Yeah.
You?
Yes, I do.
No, no.
We have some communication issues to work through.
Don't let me fast, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You will not let me fast. You get the right away?
Canada's Worst Driver, the season finale, Monday on Discovery Channel.
To remove a stain, you can dab it, rub it, soak it, or just leave it. New Tide Original with Activist technology helps remove many dry stains as if they were fresh. So your style will always be spotless. New Tide Original with Activist. Style is an option. Clean is not. Get Activist and use Tide detergent.
Christmas Eve is 2 weeks from tonight, and there are hundreds of families on Vancouver Island who are counting down to that date with dread. They're the ones struggling to provide for their children and themselves, and not just on Christmas Day, but every day of the year. Earlier tonight, hundreds of people turned out to help the Food for Families fill up. Our friends at Cool FM were on hand to fill a 5-ton truck for South Island food banks. A-News reporter Andrew Johnson has more.
Can't go wrong with these Campbell soups.
Hudson Mack and his new friend Edward are doing a little Friday morning shopping for the staples and for a few favorites.
All right. You like Clamato, Edward? Oh, it's good.
$200 later, the cart is full, but this truck outside isn't yet. The Cool FM Food for Families fill-up hopes to change that.
There are over 7,000 families in Greater Victoria that go hungry every single year. We want to make sure that the food banks have enough food to feed all those families because everybody deserves to have a great Christmas.
Food banks across the capital region say donations are down significantly this year, even as much as 50%, while demand is up, except on the West Shore, where instead it has changed.
Food bank volunteers on the West Shore say they have slightly fewer families registered this year, which is a good thing, but the households who do need help are larger. It seems more adult children are staying at home, living with their parents.
It's the economy. I think they can't afford, they haven't got a job. The younger people haven't got jobs right now, and the only place where they can stay is with the family at home.
Victoria's Mustard Seed Food Bank, which needs to raise more than $1 million by the end of the month, has seen another troubling trend.
Something that really concerns me is that I've noticed a bit of a spike in seniors in our lineup. I witnessed a lady that had walked, I mean literally walked, from Gordon Head down to the Mustard Seed, 82 years old.
Volunteers made sure she didn't have to walk home, just as they are doing their best to make sure there is no one in Greater Victoria who will go hungry this holiday season, but they can't do it without you.
And thanks to you, food banks across Greater Victoria are restocking their shelves tonight. More than 2,700 kilograms of food was collected during the Cool FM Food for Families fill-up, and our friends at Cool FM helped collect more than $10,000 in cash.
And actually, it's going to still continue. The great people here at Thrifty Foods, Dean and all of his staff, are going to continue to sell the pre-made bags of groceries that they put together, and they're also going to be putting through the little cash coupons, $5, $10, or $20. You can just add it to your grocery bill. It's that easy, and it'll just go through to the food banks for the entire holiday season.
And, of course, you can help Robin and Brian make some more contributions to food banks. Donations in cash will be taken at all 50 food locations on Vancouver Island. The brand new emergency department at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital is now under construction, and the community is coming together to help pay for it. A donation from the Westwood Lake Relay was presented to emergency room doctors today. This year's